What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Here is my reaction to the 2021 NBA All-Stars. So like always, Shams kind of spoils this, or either Sham or Woj will let everybody know before the public knows kind of how the NBA draft goes, because we were supposed to know on TNT, and then he obviously released it a little bit before. So Sham tweeted out his sources for the 2021 NBA All-Star reserves. This is pretty much the things we didn't know. We kind of knew like the starters, like who they would be, and like the only skeptical ones were probably who was going to be the guards in the East. We knew it was Kyrie, and it ended up being Bradley Beal. Maybe it could have been Harden or somebody else for the guard spot, but then in the West, it was either going to be Luka or Dame. But we knew that like Dame was going to make it, and pretty much Harden was going to make it, but he let us know the reserve. So for the Western Conference, we have Chris Paul, Paul George, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Zion Williamson, his first All-Star game, and Anthony Davis. So we have 2 Lakers, 2 Clippers, and 2 Jazz, which makes sense because they are the top 3 teams in the NBA record-wise, I believe, or the Clippers are right there with the 76ers because we got LeBron and AD, we got Kawhi and Paul George, and we got Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. I believe all of those players should make the All-Star game. I had Zion in as well. The only thing that I had different than the actual result was Chris Paul making it. I had Devin Booker in there instead, and I knew that Devin Booker or Chris Paul or Devin Booker, one of them was going to be a snub, and most likely one of those players was going to replace Anthony Davis. Like, I'm guessing Devin Booker, like last year, he wasn't a true all-star. He replaced Damian Lillard, even though he should have been an all-star in my opinion, and this year, I think he should have been an all-star over Chris Paul, but he will be replacing Anthony Davis most likely. I doubt DeMar DeRozan gets in over him, or De'Aaron Fox, or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. One of those players, or Mike Conley in as well, over AD. So, yeah, the only thing I kind of, like my predictions and my All-Stars, I just had Devin Booker instead of Chris Paul, and I had Zion in. I think he is an All-Star this year. He's been playing phenomenal. I'm glad both Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert got in. I knew Donovan Mitchell was going to get in, which I believe this might be his 3rd All-Star game. 3rd, I believe, maybe. And then I'm glad Rudy Gobert got him because the Jazz are one of the best teams in the NBA this year, and they deserve 2 All-Stars. So the only gripe I have with the Western was Chris Paul making it over Devin Booker, even though I knew Chris Paul was going to be, or Devin Booker was going to be AD's replacement. Now on to the East. This is what I've been tweeting about, making YouTube videos about. We were going to have so many snubs because you can see that the reserves are James Harden, Julius Randle, I did not think he was going to make it. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Zach LaVine, Ben Simmons, and Nikola Vucevic. So after the fan, media, and player vote, we pretty much had 4 locks, I would say, out of those players. James Harden, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Zach LaVine. So all the guards and wild card spots were locks. So pretty much it came out to the other 2 forward spots because Jason Tatum was obviously going to make it. I don't know why people thought Jason Tatum wasn't going to make it because he was a lock. So actually, that would be 2 guards, 1 wild card, and then Jason Tatum there. So it came down, Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, and Vucevic were picked out of the pool of those 3, Domantas Sabonis, Gordon Hayward, Bam Adebayo, Fred VanVleet. You would also have, Pascal Siakam, Jeremy Grant, and Malcolm Brogdon, I guess, and I said Domantas Sabonis. So those 7 players, I could be missing, and Tobias Harris. So those 8, and Chris Middleton, those 9. So there was going to be a lot of players that were going to be left out. I'm very shocked that Ben Simmons made it. I did not think he was, but I think it came down to 2 Sixers making it, because if 2 Lakers were going to make it, 2 Clippers, 2 Jazz, at the end of the day, probably 2 Suns will make it, and then you have 3 Nets making it, and you also have 2 Celtics. I think the Sixers being the best team in the Eastern Conference record-wise, you needed to put 2 Sixers in, and that's what ended up happening. So I think I'm not too surprised at the end of the day. I didn't really think of that when I was making my All-Star predictions, but I am surprised Ben Simmons made it over Trae Young, only because Trae Young was an All-Star starter last year, correct? And he didn't even make it this year. And, I mean, his numbers are a little bit different. He is shooting pretty much the same from the field. He's shooting better from 3. He isn't scoring as much. He's averaging more assists. He is shooting better from the line and getting to the line more. And, I mean, his defense is equally as bad, and you could say it's a little bit better this year, actually, if you're looking at maybe the advanced numbers. Maybe that's because of, Clint Capella helping him out a lot more, maybe inside, or Onyeka Okongwu when he's out there, DeAndre Hunter, or players like that. But I am shocked Trae Young did not make it. I even had him as an All-Star starter about a month ago, and then I moved him to the bench, and I'm just shocked he didn't make it. And then Vucevic and Randle, I honestly thought both were going to be snubs, and Jimmy Butler as well. I thought it was going to end up being Domantas Sabonis and Chris Middleton. So there's no 2 Bucks, only 1 Buck this year, and there's no Pacers that was kind of shocking as well, seeing no Pacers making the All-Star game. I did not think Randall was going to make it or Vucevic, but they were both putting up crazy numbers. And it's really not a team success award because that's kind of more the All-NBA. This is just who's putting up the best numbers. That's why, like, I don't know. That's why I'm surprised Trae Young really didn't make it because, like, defense obviously hasn't really been a known thing for the All-Star game. And Trae Young's putting up not, like, as good as numbers as Zach LaVine, but he's putting up damn good numbers. So I'm just kind of shocked that he made it over just some of these other guys, but I'm not saying he's like a massive snub. Chris Middleton hurts a lot because he's shooting 50, 40, 90. He's averaging like 26 and 6, being a plus defender on a top 10 defensive team in the NBA. So I knew he wasn't going to get in, and I knew he was going to be a stump. He made it in last year because the Bucks were the best team. If the Bucks were not the best team in the league last year, or the best team in the East, he probably wasn't even going to make it. Because he's not the flashy player, right? Like, he just really isn't. Because you could say he's having a better year than Ben Simmons, and I think a lot of people can get behind that. But Ben Simmons has been better as of late after his kind of slow start to the year. Vucevic making it is cool after not making it last year, and people are like, whoa, should they have given him that extension after being an All-Star in 2019? I'm glad to see Vucevic back in there. He's been... I mean, that Magic team would be the worst in the NBA. Bottom tier worst if it wasn't for Vucevic due to the injuries they've had with Aaron Gordon, Isaac, Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, and others. So that is really cool that he ended up making it. And Julius Randle making it, man. He made it over. Like, if you would have told me he would have made the 2021 All-Star game in the beginning of the year over guys like Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Domantas Sabonis, Chris Middleton, I would have been like, yeah, you're smoking something. I don't know what drugs you got. I don't know if they're legal in your state, but you're smoking something. But he's an all-star. He's the first all-star since Kristaps Porzingis made it for the Knicks in 2018. He didn't even play. He'll be the first Knick to play in the all-star game since Carmelo Anthony because Porzingis ended up tearing his ACL after he was nominated in that all-star game. And it's crazy a year makes because, like, people were like, yeah, Kristaps Porzingis, what a steal. Julius Randle, like, you replace Kristaps with him, and now he's an all-star. And the Mavs, like, there was a report that they kind of want to trade him, but Cuban, I think, shot that down, but still, it's kind of crazy how a year changes you, or like a 180 a year can go. So, yeah, that's pretty much my reaction to the All-Star reserves. Let me know what you guys thought the biggest snub was down below. Did you think it was somebody in the West like Devin Booker? I do. I think he was the biggest snub in this selection. Do you think it was somebody else like Mike Conley, DeMar DeRozan, Shea, or De'Aaron Fox? And in the East, there was a lot of snubs you could say as well. But like I said in my All-Star video on my main channel, there's 18 All-Stars in the East this year, but only 12 spots. So let me know. Do you think Domantas Sabonis, biggest snub? Bam, Jimmy Butler, Gordon Hayward, Jeremy Grant, Fred VanVleet, Terry Rozier? I don't know. You can let me know down below, or even Tobias Harris as well. But I think there wasn't going to be 3 Sixers making it, so I'm not saying Tobias was really a snub. They just ended up choosing Ben Simmons over Tobias Harris because they could have made it work with with Ben Simmons, or excuse me, the guards being James Harden and Jaylen Brown, and then the wild cards being Zach LaVine and Tobias Harris, and the 3 forwards being Tatum, Randle, and Vucevic. So Harris definitely could have made it if you took out Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons ended up making it for Tobias Harris. So yeah, that is gonna be for me. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.